guys, Rachel with Spunky Misfit Girl here, and welcome to all the new subscribers that have joined recently. I actually just hit the 200 mark. It was very exciting and blew right past it very quickly, mainly because Cara Renee from Be Reborn mentioned, I think followed along with one of my tutorials and mentioned me. So welcome to all of you who came over from her channel. I enjoy her videos a lot too. I've always appreciated how she sort of talks to herself, especially when she can't find things or she messes something up, because I do a lot of that too. So I've been working recently on these little mini envelope junk journals, and I posted about them in at least one of the groups that I'm in recently. And people asked for a couple of things. They asked for a tutorial on the envelope journals altogether, which I will do shortly. But I thought what I would do first was the other thing that somebody asked for, which was how to do the closure. And because I've gotten asked that question before, I actually get asked this question quite a bit. People like these. I'm actually not sure what they're called exactly, but I think they look really nice too, and I like them. I do them a lot as closures, particularly on my envelope journals, and they're super easy to do. So I thought I would just do a really quick video on this one I have here that's in progress, and these are just simple 2 envelope journals. I'll do the whole tutorial shortly, but so for now, I have basically what I have is the cover collaged and done and ready, but I haven't done anything to the inside, right? Because this is where we'll punch our hole. So all I do on these closures is I use craft cardstock, and this comes with the envelopes. These are the cards that come with the envelopes I use. They're like 5x7 cards, and I take my circle punch, my big circle punch. I think it's a 1-incher, and I do 2 punches of the craft cardstock for my larger piece here, and I do 2 for my smaller piece. And that is gonna be most of what comprises my closure. And then what I need is some kind of decorative paper to go on top. And I usually, what I do is I'll kind of look, I'm trying to use this similar paper that I have here. I'll just punch a circle and put it on there and kind of take a look and see, do I like how that looks? And I usually try to do just contrasting. So like if I have a really light paper back here, I'll do something darker here, and then something lighter again on top, so that you get that nice kind of contrasting look. Here in this one, I just did a little stamping and used the craft by itself without putting any paper over the top. And actually this one, I ultimately decided to go without this small circle because it had this nice key design on there that I didn't want to cover up. So you can do that whatever looks good to you. This is the paper that's underneath here, so I might try something with that. We are apparently having a windstorm of some kind. I don't know if you guys can hear that at all, but I grew up in the Midwest and I lived in New York City for a long time, but I'm really used to living in very old, very sturdy buildings. And now I live in Austin, Texas, in a newer construction building, and I have these giant windows in my apartment that when it is really windy like this, it sounds like the whole apartment's gonna fall down. It's a little nerve-wracking. So I'm actually gonna just cut into this and use this little guy here. I think he's gonna make a nice top one. Yeah, I like that. I kind of want something underneath it. Something more, you know, almost like this. I don't know if I have. That's going to be too similar. I want something that's kind of more different. Hunting through my steampunk stuff that I have here. I've been kind of on a steampunk kick, particularly with these guys. Actually, you can find them at Etsy shop. I have 2 kits that have this kind of steampunk Alice look to them. One that's just journaling cards and one that's a larger ephemera kit. And there's not too much overlap between them. They do use different images and they have different backing papers and stuff. So if you're looking for those, I'm going to be vending at a steampunk event coming up in April. And I am sorry, that sounds so loud to me. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but holy goodness, it's really raining too now. Okay, so I have lost my pens. So let's look at this, if we like this. I don't know, it might be a bit much. But let me cut it and see what I think here. Maybe a little bitty guy. Well, I wanted this to be a quick and easy video with no snafus, where we just put our closure together. And I don't know, this design is not turning out that way. Kind of the way it goes sometimes. I kind of like this thing, but I don't think that's gonna work. Maybe I have some other. Oh, the world is falling down outside. I mean, it's kind of great weather to be crafting and junk journaling in, right? Just let the world fall down around you out there. And I just really don't know what I want to do with this. I kind of like that. I wish I had it for the whole, I don't think it, oh yeah, I do. Look at this. Maybe I can do it the whole way down. Just like that. That might do the trick. I always end up, whenever I start trying to make collage decisions on camera, I end up being like basically incapable of it. I do very well on my own when no one's watching. But as soon as I think about you guys watching. All right. Let's take a look at this guy. I don't know, this is actually not cut quite straight either. Put this guy here. Maybe I'll make him smaller. Yeah, that's what I need to do. just this piece in the middle, I think, is what we're going for. It gets a little smaller. He's a little hard to cut in here. But I can't cut straight, so I really try to, if I try to freehand it, I will mess it up. Oh, okay, now I love that. Yes, yes, yes. That is what we needed. All right. So I'm going to be vending in Dripping Springs at the end of March too, which I'm really looking forward to. Looking forward to being in person with people, selling things again. Even though I'm like a super, super duper introvert, I actually really enjoyed myself at Crafters Convention last October. I think I just, you know, connecting with people around this stuff and stuff I love, and, you know, making things and being creative together and all of that, just really, I just really have a great time with it. So all right, little piece of tape, and we're gonna put this guy kind of right smack in the middle here. And I like that a lot. Now, so now we're ready to have our closure, and that is gonna look cool. I almost am tempted to go that route again and not cover that up. I like that slightly darker guy like that. And this is the process. Just be patient with our process. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna go with this route. I'll keep this guy for something else another day. So then what I do with these is I just take my Fabri-Tac and I'm gonna glue everybody together. And I usually just do a little here and a little here and put the whole thing together like that. Get it kind of stuck in there so that it's adhering. It will shift around if you're not careful. And then set it aside because I'm going to leave those to dry, and I'm going to do the same thing with the little guy. My glue's already all over the place. I actually came up with this little new style that I've been doing to have something a little simpler to teach in a class that I'll be doing at Crafters Convention in May. So then I just let these guys sit for a little bit. It's a good idea to just let them dry for a little while before you punch your holes, because otherwise they just, you know, you just want them to be kind of stuck together well. So what I'm gonna do in the meantime, while those dry so that I can keep you going here, is I'm gonna take one of these. I'm just gonna make one of these guys. So what you're gonna do in a second when those are dry is you're gonna take your, however you punch. So I've got my crocodile here, and I'm gonna just punch, it's on the 1/8 inch, I'm gonna just punch a hole. I'm eyeballing it to get it in the middle. I really am not very precise. And then I'm gonna use that as my guide. And you can do that, once this guy is dry, you can just do that with your big circle. And I'm just gonna take that big circle and I'm gonna place it where I want it on my journal and draw right in the middle there so that I know where to punch my hole. And then I'm gonna punch my hole in the cover. And that is gonna be all ready to have my my closure when it's ready. And I'm just gonna give these guys a little ink very gently because they're still a bit wet. I am just about after this to film a flip through, or well, really an unboxing of a journal I got from Justine over at House of Mahalo, and I'm really excited about that. I'm excited to go through it myself and to show you guys. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead. I probably would normally let these guys set for a little bit. It doesn't really have to be overnight, but that can be better if you have the time for it. I'm just gonna go ahead and do it now. And like I said, I'm gonna eyeball my middles. There's my big guy. This guy has a set of clock hands that I'm gonna go right through. Yeah, you can see that guy's still very wet. Grab a towel to clean up his edges a little bit here. We're just getting a little bit gooey. Make sure he's nice and put together here since I'm kind of rushing his glue. Get dry, get dry, get dry. Don't want to wait for you. All right. I'll get a little in the middle there now too. So then I'm just gonna take a brad, and I have a whole pile of these brass ones. I've been saying I'd like to find some smaller ones for ages, so if anybody knows of some little teeny cute ones, these little teeny cute journals could use something like that. So I'm taking my big circle, my small circle, and putting my brad through the top and then into that hole that I punched in my journal. And I'm just going to open up the legs of my brad against the inside. So this is the inside of my journal. And what I'm gonna eventually do, I'm not gonna do it on this video, but I'll show you some of these others, is collage on the inside right over the top of those brad legs, so you won't be able to see them, just like I did here. And that is really nice. And so then for your closure, what kind of color do we want to do here? This is the steampunk one, but I actually kind of like this. I'm really liking this over here. And this is a solo, and actually on this one here, I did two. So it's slightly different. It's very similar. It's the same principle, you know, for making the circles and punching the holes and, using the brad legs. You would want to not collage your inside of your back before you do that. But then with that one, I just wrapped the twine around this outside piece. I just didn't even go all the way around. I just went, and so that I didn't have to attach it. If I'm just doing one like this, what I do is I just attach my twine closure because I like it that way. I mean, you don't have to do it that way. You could, even with just one circle, just wrap it around. You know, just wrap it around like that, and it's gonna hold. And that's actually, in a way, an easier way to do it because you don't have to worry about accidentally gluing it down. Which, if you attach it, so when you attach it, you're gonna have to be just very careful to not get too much glue. To just do a tiny bit of glue underneath inside of there, and then just slide this guy in right onto your little bit of glue that's under there, and then just leave it to dry. Because you still want this kind of all the way around of the circle to not be glued, so that you can wrap your string around it. But that's it. That's your closure. And this is, I mean, like, you can use this on any kind of journal that you can punch a hole through. Super useful and beautiful. And thank you guys so much for watching.